Happy February! Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the February picks for Book of the Month. Also, before we dive in, don't forget to vote in this month's poll for the spoiler talk. So every month I let you guys pick which Book of the Month book I pick, and then I do a spoiler talk on it. So be sure to go check out that poll as well. This month I have been aggressively looking at the Book of the Month website, like refreshing, because I'm like, the 31st, like I feel like they should have posted yesterday on Monday. So I've been like, needing these picks. So first we have Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. I have read something else by her before. It was that one that was made into a movie. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember liking it, but I have not read anything from her since. So she's a repeat author, so I'm assuming they have done something with her before. An accidental gym bag swap jolts two women whose lives are on the rocks into realizing it's time to seize their fates. Why is it over 400 pages? I don't really feel like a book with that description needs to be that long, but okay. Multiple viewpoints, I like that. Quirky. All right, marriage issues, womp womp. Who are you when you are forced to walk in someone else's shoes? Nisha lives the globe-trotting life of the seriously wealthy until her husband announces a divorce and cuts her off. Nisha is determined to hang on to her glamorous life, but in the meantime, she must scramble to cope. She doesn't even have the shoes she was, until a moment ago, standing in. That's because Sam Kemp, in the bleakest moment of her life, has accidentally taken Nisha's gym bag, but Sam hardly has time to worry about the lost gym bag. She's struggling to keep herself and her family afloat. When she tries on Nisha's 6-inch high Christian Louboutin red crocodile shoes, the resulting jolt of confidence makes her realize something must change, and that thing is herself. Why does this also make me think of that book that was turned into a movie, In Her Shoes or something, about like sisters who were trying to understand each other's lives or something? That's what this makes me think of. It's rated pretty high so far, 4.16 for those ARCers. Oh, Me Before You! That was the book by her that I've read before. Okay, so then this one also comes out February 2nd, so right in the new year. 448 pages. That, I feel like, is very long for this premise. Okay, what else you got? Ooh, that cover's pretty. Historical fiction, River Sing Me Home. It's a debut. A mother's love knows no bounds in this gripping story of a formerly enslaved woman's search for her stolen children. Heavy read. Yeah, literary, international, and a quest. Okay, content warning, this book contains mentions of sexual assault. Her search begins with an ending. The master of the Providence Plantation in Barbados gathers his slaves and announces the king has decreed an end to slavery. As the following day, the Emancipation Act of 1834 will come into effect. The cries of joy fall silent when he announces they are no longer his slaves, they are now his apprentices. No one can leave. They must work for him for another 6 years. Freedom is just another name for the life they have always lived. So Rachel runs. Away from Providence, she begins a desperate search to find her children, the 5 who survived birth and were sold. Are any of them still alive? Rachel has to know. The grueling, dangerous journey takes her from Barbados, then by river, deep into the forest, and finally across the sea to Trinidad. She's driven on by the certainty that a mother cannot truly be free without knowing what has become of her children. That's a pretty powerful line, not gonna lie. Even if the answer is more than she can bear. These are the stories of Mary Grace, Micah, Thomas Augustus, Cherry Jane, and Mercy. But above all, this is a story of Rachel and the extraordinary lengths to which a mother will go to find her children and her freedom. That does sound like a really heavy read, but it also sounds like a very, powerful read. 4.36 Good Morning America Book Club pick. This came out January 31st. 336 pages. Not that big of a boy. That's nice. Romance! Georgie All Along. A love letter to anyone who struggled to find their way in this swoon-worthy reminder to always bet on yourself. So I have to say, I am very surprised that Book of the Month has this as one of their picks. I was not expecting that. So I am going to be disqualifying this from the poll. So this is kind of a flip side of having multiple book box subscriptions. So I actually know that I'm getting this in a book box for the month of February. And so I'm going to be getting it like the end of February. So I already have a video planned for it. I'm going to be doing like a spoiler talk, like book vlog, reading vlog type thing, while I open the book box that comes along with the book. So I'm going to be disqualifying this one from the poll because I already have plans for it, and I'm not going to buy a copy of the book of the month one when I know I'm already receiving it in a different book box. So I am already planning on reading this, but we'll take a look at it just to kind of let you know what it's about. So I love the cover. I think it's super cute. I'm very excited because it's a romance book. I've never read anything by this author before. Okay, so this one is emotional, buzzy, salacious, and an underdog. Longtime personal assistant Georgie has made a career out of putting others before herself. She's going back to her hometown, trying to figure out herself. She comes across a forgotten artifact, a friendfic diary she wrote as a teenager, filled with possibilities she once imagined. To an overwhelmed Georgie, the diary's simple, small-scale ideas are a lifeline to getting started on a new path. The romance aspect. Georgie's plans hit a snag when she comes face-to-face with an unexpected roommate. Levi, one-time town troublemaker and current town hermit. How did they become roommates? I think that's what I want to know, like how did this even happen? He offers to help Georgie with her quest. As the two make their way through her wish list, Georgie begins to realize that what she truly wants might not be in the pages of her diary after all, but right by her side in the form of Levi. If only they can both find a way to let go of the past that hold them back. Okay, so I wonder if she knew him from the past. I'm also curious to know, because this is a romance book, but other romance books that I've gotten from Book of the Month, example, The Bodyguard, were closed door, and I don't like that. So I'm actually very curious, like, is this an open door sex scene book? Like, or no? So I feel like that has a big impact on my enjoyment level of a romance book. So we'll see. Oh, look at this one. Gets its own banner and everything. Okay, this came out already, January 24th. 352 pages. That's nice. 4.34. That's good. So far, I feel like all of the ratings for these ones have been like pretty high up there, eh? Okay, so next we have a thriller, of course. I feel like Book of the Month is like, you have to have a thriller pick, at least one every single month. So no surprise here. Okay, I like the cover. Is that like a real thing? I'm interested by the cover, how like it looks like the pages are turning. That's actually really nice. I like that. The writing retreat. Pro tip, read the fine print before a writer's retreat, lest you end up stuck with a kooky horror writer and your ex-BFF. Psychological, I like that. Creepy, I like that. Rule, okay. Writer's life. Alex has all but given up on her dreams of becoming a published author when she receives a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Attend an exclusive month-long writing retreat at the estate of feminist horror writer Rosa Vallow. Even the knowledge that Ren, her former best friend and current rival, is attending doesn't damper her excitement. But when the attendees arrive, Rosa drops a bombshell. They must all complete an entire novel from scratch during the next month. Oof, I feel like that is a short time to write a book. And the author of the best one will receive a best according to who? According to Rosa? And the author of the best one will receive a life-changing 7-figure publishing deal. Is this up to Rosa to decide this? Determined to, is she a part of the publisher? Like the publishing house? Like is this her decision? She's a writer. She's not in publishing. Determined to win this seemingly impossible contest, Alex buckles down and tries to ignore the strange happenings at the estate, including Rose's erratic behavior. I'm just imagining, like, okay, is this like an approved trip? Like, are we not asking questions? Like, I want to know, like, how is she being erotic? And then Ren is doing cruel mind games and the alleged haunting of the mansion itself. But when one of the riders vanishes during a snowstorm, Alex realizes that something very sinister is afoot. Rosa's killing him. But with the clock running out, she's desperate to discover the truth and save herself from Rosa. I don't know, that one sounds it sounds a little like goofy, but it sounds kind of fun. Aw, womp womp, our first one that's under 4 stars. Sad day. Okay, 320 pages, nice and short. It's coming out a little bit later in the month, February 21st. Last one. Okay, I have seen this one buzzing around as a release, and the little flowers where if you like go onto the app before book of the month like drops their hints or drops their books, like their hint was the flowers from this book. So I figured that this one was going to be a pick. So I'm not 100% sure on how to pronounce this. I think it's Maame. It's a contemporary fiction. Coming of age is hard work, but this heartwarming story of self-discovery has plenty of laughs and wisdom to spare too. Family drama, sad, millennial, and immigration. Okay, so Maame has many meanings in Twi, but in my case, it means woman. It's fair to say that Maddie's life in London is far from rewarding, with a mother who spends most of her time in Ghana, yet but still somehow manages to be overbearing. Maddie is the primary caretaker for her father, who suffers from advanced stage Parkinson's. At work, her boss is a nightmare, and Maddie is tired of always being the only Black person in every meeting. When her mum returns from her latest trip to Ghana, Maddie leaps at the chance to get out of the family home and finally start living. A self-acknowledged late bloomer, she's ready to experience some important firsts. She finds a flat share, says yes to after-work drinks, pushes for more recognition in her career, and throws herself into the bewildering world of internet dating. But it's not long before tragedy— oh, why do I feel like her dad dies? Not long before tragedy strikes, forcing Maddie to face the true nature of unconventional family and the perils and rewards of putting her heart on the line. That sounds nice. I wonder how old she is, because she's like in like her job and everything, but it sounds like a later stage, like coming of age story. 4.31, that's pretty good. 320 pages, nice and short. Oh, and came out at the end of January. Okay, so those are the main 5 picks. I already said I'm not choosing Georgie all the way, obviously. So it's disqualified, but I'm gonna put it in my book of the month as my thing so I can see what the add-ons are. I'm curious if they have any new add-ons this month. I think, was it last month that they didn't have any new add-ons? Spot. Ah! I know what my add-on's gonna be already. Okay, so Last Tale of the Flower Bride. I have been talking about this book. I have been seeing it buzzing around. If you saw my most anticipated books of 2023 video, which by the way, if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss any more of my videos. But so that was in my like most anticipated for the year book, because I've seen this like moving around, and it's a fantasy, but it also feels like it has like this like gothic feel to it, and like I don't know why I can't like stop thinking about it. Oh, and romance. It has a little romance to it. Female friendships, I love that. Unreliable narrator, and ornate. Once upon a time, a man who believed in fairy tales married a beautiful, mysterious woman named Indigo Maxwell Castaneda. He was a scholar of myths. She was an heiress to a fortune. They exchanged gifts and stories and believed they would live happily ever after. In exchange for her love, Indigo extracted a promise that her bridegroom would never pry into her past. But when Indigo learns that her estranged aunt is dying and the couple is forced to return to her childhood home, the House of Dreams, the bridegroom will soon find himself unable to resist. For within the crumbling manor's extravagant rooms and musty halls, there lurks the shadow of another girl, Azure, Indigo's dearest childhood friend who suddenly disappeared. As the house slowly reveals his wife's secrets, the bridegroom will be forced to choose between reality and fantasy, even if doing so threats to destroy their marriage. Dun dun dun, or their lives. I just cannot stop thinking about this fuck. Okay, so this is coming out February 14th. Oh, it's really short. 304 pages, 4.07. All these other ones are not, they're not new. Oh, I've seen this one kind of floating around. Sometimes after a breakup, you need to lie face down and let the mascara and tears flow freely. This book gets it. She's a young divorcee, kind of figuring out her life now. I have seen this one kind of like floating around a little bit. It seems like those two are the only two like new add-ons, unless, what's this? Bret Easton Ellis's thrilling latest is 2 parts 80s LA, 1 part serial killer at large with a dash of prep school drama. Nah. No thanks. Okay, so in place of Georgie All Along, the Last Flower Bride will be the 5th pick in the poll. So it will be the 4 main picks minus Georgie All Along and this add-on for The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. So the poll will be open for 24 hours, so go vote now so you can decide what I read in February and do a spoiler talk on. Last month was a lot of fun. You guys picked What Lies in the Woods, so I'm super excited. Are you guys gonna pick another thriller? Are you gonna pick something completely different? We will see. I love having you guys decide what I read. I just love just seeing what you guys are interested in. And that is it for February selections. As always, let me know what you're picking down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. And most importantly, don't forget to vote in the poll so that you can decide what I'm reading this month. Thanks so much for watching and spending your time with me today, and we'll see you next time. Bye.